If you do not find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. I have said this sentence many times. People put it on t-shirts, they put it on coffee mugs, but I do not think they actually understand the physics of what I am saying. This is not a motivational quote. This is a mathematical warning. Welcome to the most dangerous trap in the modern world. We call it the employee trap. Most of you watching this video are currently selling the only asset you cannot get back. You are selling your time. You wake up, you drive to a building, you sit there for 8 or 10 hours, and in exchange, someone gives you a certificate of value called a paycheck. You think this is normal. You think this is how the world works. But in the world of the ultra wealthy, in the world of the 1%, this behavior is considered insanity. Why? Because time is a finite inventory. Imagine you owned a store, but you only had 24 items on the shelf every day. Once you sell those 24 items, you cannot sell anymore. No matter how high the demand is, no matter how hard you work, your income is capped by your inventory. That is your life as an employee. You have a ceiling. You can become a doctor, you can become a lawyer, you can charge $1,000 an hour, but you are still just a high-paid laborer. If you stop working, the money stops flowing, the machine turns off. The moment you stop moving, you start dying financially. This is not an accident. This is by design. Let us look at where this mindset comes from. It comes from the industrial conveyor belt we call the education system. Think about your school years. What were you actually trained to do? You were trained to sit still for 8 hours. You were trained to memorize instructions. You were trained to raise your hand to ask for permission to speak or even to go to the bathroom. You were trained to fear failure. And above all, you were trained to complete tasks given to you by a superior authority. These are not the skills of an owner. These are the skills of a compliant worker. The school system was designed in the Prussian era to produce soldiers and factory workers. It was never designed to produce capitalists. It does not teach you how to read a balance sheet. It does not teach you how to identify a competitive advantage. It does not teach you how to leverage debt or how to build a system that works without you. It teaches you one thing: how to be a specialized part in a machine that someone else owns. And when you graduate, you are handed the ultimate leash. It is called the salary. Nassim Taleb once said that the 3 most harmful addictions are heroin, carbohydrates, and a monthly salary. He was right. A salary is a drug. It is a steady drip of morphine that numbs your ambition. It gives you the illusion of safety. You know exactly how much is coming in on the 15th of the month. This predictability feels good. It feels safe. But it destroys your ability to hunt. In the wild, a wolf does not know when its next meal is coming. So it stays sharp, it stays hungry, it learns to read the environment. A dog in a cage knows exactly when the bowl will be filled. So it sleeps, it gets fat, it loses its instincts. Most people are domesticated dogs living in a cage made of gold. They have traded their freedom for a bowl of food. But here's the problem with the cage. The owner of the cage can stop feeding you at any moment. We see this in every recession. We see this when technology changes. The loyal employee who sold his time for 30 years is suddenly let go. He is 55 years old. He has no assets. He has no systems. All he has is a resume that says he is good at following orders. And now, nobody wants to give him orders anymore. This is a tragedy of selling time. It works until it does not. And when it stops working, the fall is catastrophic. So today, we are going to break this programming. We're going to uninstall the employee operating system from your brain. We are going to look at the mathematics of serfdom. We are going to look at why tax laws are written to punish workers and reward owners. And we are going to talk about how to decouple your time from your money. You do not need to quit your job tomorrow. That would be foolish. But you need to quit the mindset today. You need to stop viewing yourself as a worker who gets paid to do a job. And you need to start viewing yourself as a business that is currently selling its services to a single customer. The difference sounds small, but the difference is everything. One path leads to a lifetime of anxiety and a retirement of poverty. The other path leads to true independence. Let us begin the deprogramming. Welcome to part 2, the mathematics of serfdom. Most people think the game is rigged. They are right, but they do not understand how it is rigged. They think it is rigged by corruption. No, it is rigged by math. Lesson 1, the tax penalty. If you look at the tax code of any major country, you will see a clear message. The government wants you to be an investor. It does not want you to be a worker. How do I know this? Because of the tax rates. If you go to work and earn a salary, you pay the highest tax rate possible. You pay income tax, you pay payroll tax, you pay Social Security tax. Before that money even hits your bank account, the government takes 30 or 40%. Now look at me. I make my money through capital gains and dividends. I sit in a chair, I allocate capital, and the government taxes me at a much lower rate, sometimes half of what a worker pays. I have famously said that my secretary pays a higher tax rate than I do. People got angry when I said that, and they thought I was bragging. I was not bragging, I was confessing. I was telling you the rules of the game. If you sell your time, you are penalized. If you risk your capital, you are subsidized. Why? Because the system needs capital to grow. It needs factories. It needs innovation. It does not need more people just sitting at desks safe and sound. So if you want to keep more of what you earn, you must stop earning salary and start earning equity. Lesson 2, the inflation lag. This is the silent killer of the working class. When the government prints money, prices go up. We know this. But here is the secret. Prices do not go up for everyone at the same time. Asset prices go up first, the stock market booms, real estate booms, the rich get richer immediately. Then consumer prices go up, bread gets expensive, gas gets expensive. Do you know what goes up last? Your wages. Wages are what economists call sticky. Your boss does not wake up and say, oh, inflation is up 8%, let me give everyone a raise today. No, he waits. He waits a year, maybe 2. By the time you get that 3% raise, you have already lost 10% of your purchasing power. You are running a race where the finish line is moving away from you faster than you can run. As long as you are selling time, you are always on the losing side of the inflation equation. Owners are on the winning side because they own the assets that are repricing upwards. Lesson 3, linear versus exponential. This is the final nail in the coffin. Selling time is linear math. 1 hour equals 1 unit of pay. 10 hours equals 10 units of pay. If you want to make twice as much money, you have to work twice as long. But there is a hard physical limit. You cannot work 25 hours a day. This means your income has a cap. It is mathematically impossible for you to get rich selling time because you run out of time to sell. Wealth is exponential. When I buy a company, I do not need to be there for it to grow. Coca-Cola sells billions of cans a day, whether I get out of bed or not. Apple sells iPhones in every country on earth while I am playing bridge. That is exponential growth. My income is not tied to my effort. It is tied to the efficiency of the system I own. If you are a doctor, you are smart, but you are linear. If your hands stop moving, your income hits 0. If you build a medical software company, you are exponential. You can be on a beach and the software is still billing patients. You have to move from linear to exponential. You have to move from selling hours to owning outcomes. If you do not make this shift, you will always be one bad health diagnosis away from poverty. Now that we understand the math, we have to understand why you are still doing it. Why do you keep showing up to a game you are mathematically guaranteed to lose? The answer is in your head. It is an addiction. Welcome to part 3, the psychology of the paycheck. Now that we have proven that selling your time is mathematically a losing game, we have to ask a difficult question. Why do 99% of people still do it? Why do smart people with degrees from Harvard and Yale, fight tooth and nail to get a job that pays them for their time? The answer is not logic. The answer is biology. Lesson 4, the heroine of the 15th and 30th. Now, Nassim Taleb was not joking when he said the 3 most harmful addictions are heroin, carbohydrates, and a monthly salary. Let us look at how a salary works on your brain. Human beings are wired to seek patterns and safety. The unknown terrifies